What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness.
So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel.
So let's start this video with 3 days out physique update from 2024 Chicago Pro Champion Muhammad Foda. And before we talk about his update, he also becomes the first IFBB Pro in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment to drop his coach Stefan, as it has now been confirmed that Foda is now working with Patrick Tour. Obviously something did not work out between Stefan and Muhammad Foda, because Stefan was coaching him up until the end of May. Nevertheless, we know both these guys, they are amazing coaches, some of the best in the pro ranks at the moment. Although you have got to say, as much as I respect Stefan, but he just hasn't been on his A game, especially this year, with guys like Regan, James Hollingshead and Blessing Avudibu missing their mark on the day of the show. Now Muhammad Foda was the biggest surprise in this year's Dubai Pro lineup, as he kept it secret up until just 1 week out. Now I for one am very eager to see how his back looks this time around, how much improvements he has been able to make in that posterior chain since the Olympia last year. Because if this guy looks as good from the back as he does from the front, he will hurt some feelings at this upcoming Dubai Pro. But that being said, considering the fact that his back was nowhere close to his front last year at Chicago Pro as well as at the Olympia, and we have to keep in mind the lineup at this upcoming Dubai Pro, that is gonna be very deep. We have some very heavy hitters in this lineup, so he's probably gonna have some hard time, especially in those back shots, because we have guys like Tonio, William Bonac, Behrouz Tabani, who all have amazing backs. But that being said, those are just 2 shots. Now we know Foda from the front. He is exceptional in all the front shots, especially when he is truly on. He has that small waistline, amazing aesthetics, great sweeping quads, and the guy has good enough mass too. So let's just hope that he nails it 100% with Patrick Tour. Now one thing that has been different for Muhammad Foda this time around is that he has installed in terms of his dieting and being stage ready for weeks on end, and the man jumped right into his show the moment he felt like it. So I do think that this is gonna be a very interesting show. So are people out there disrespecting the guy with the most number of pro wins in the men's open division at the moment, Nathan Diasha, by continuously pointing out his long torso and simply just ignoring the quality that he brings to the stage every single time? Now, I do not know about you guys, but this is probably the driest and the most lethal Nathan has ever looked this close to the show. Now we have to keep in mind, he is still very flat, and just take a look at the separation in his quads. Now I sincerely hope that someone from his team tells him to adjust that side tricep, because I do think that he has a way better flow than what he is showcasing here. So when we talk about very well developed backs, then Nathan Diasha certainly falls in that category, at least from the waist up. That back, I must say, is absolutely insane. Now he has always struggled with the hamstrings and the glutes, but they have been looking better and better compared to his initial years. When he first came onto the scene, he has put in some solid work in that area. So a guy who has more than 10 pro wins under his belt, it will be a huge mistake if someone sleeps on him and if people are counting him out just because he has that long torso. He won all those shows with that same genetic trait, and I think he looks at his all-time best just 3 days out from this upcoming Dubai Pro. Now Nathan was one of the first pros who made the commitment to do this year's Dubai Pro, and that was at the beginning of this year, and he's 100% gonna be battle ready. The defending Dubai Pro champion, the Iranian phenomena, posing in that same great lighting where Rubiel Mosquera posed yesterday, looking so damn insane. So he's the man to beat here, because we cannot see him coming in off, especially the way he has looked throughout this prep. So this physique could have been worthy of placing top 6 at the Olympia last year, if only he was allowed to travel to the US and compete at the Olympia. That is how complete Behrouz Tabani is, and he's another example of what having a complete back looks like. And contrary to some other guys, Behrouz's back, that has everything, top to bottom. The man is super complete. Now Behrouz Tabani really has came a long way I mean, there is a reason why this man is considered one of the best pros in the open bodybuilding in this era. And he did his pro debut just a few years back. That was in 2021 at Romania Pro against Rafael Brandao and Samson Dauda. So can we all agree that Behrouz Tabani is gonna beat guys like Rafael Brandao and Regan Grimes if of course he gets the visa? And we have to keep in mind, both these guys, they have way more experience than Behrouz Tabani as a pro. Now Behrouz is the clear favorite to become 2 times Dubai Pro champion. But the fact is, it also matters a lot to him and his coach Milos Sorsev how he wins that show this weekend. Last year, he had a perfect score against Nathan Diasha and William Bonac, and he also brought the best look of his career last year at the same show. So if his quads, they look more proportional to his upper half, and if they look improved compared to last year, he is gonna be very hard to beat. But do let me know, what did you guys think? So Tonio Button is gonna be the smallest guy in this year's Dubai Pro lineup, but only in terms of his weight. The size that he has been able to pack on in this past one off season, that was quite noticeable at this year's Legion Sports. So this will probably be the most crucial competition for Tonio Button, because up until last year, he has been the smallest guy who did look under-muscled in some shots, but he seems to be very confident that he's heading into this show with just one aim, to win that 140 grand. Now Tonio's strength, they are his lines, his amazing proportions, plus his conditioning. So he will probably gonna have the most bubbly and most sweeping quads, even in this amazing lineup, even with guys like William Bonac in there. Now he is probably gonna lose those side shots to multiple guys in there. I don't think he will be top 3 in the side shots. But that being said, all of his other shots, they are pretty damn complete, especially his back shots. So this is gonna be a testing competition for Tonio Button. So he was top 8 at the Olympia back in 2023. And if he wants to improve on that placing this year, he has to finish in that top 3 at this year's Dubai Pro. Now he's aiming for the win, as I mentioned before. But just take a second and see what he has to do in order to be top 3. He has to beat guys like Rubial, Muhammad Foda, Nathan Diasha, or possibly William Bonac. And those are some great bodybuilders. So the reigning Arnold champion Mike Summerfeld in Classic Physique, he just posted 17 weeks out physique update. And the Brazilian fans, especially Ramon's fans, they have got no chill in that comment section. Now we were talking about how Mike did not look that impressive next to Ramon Dino at this year's Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. But the fact is, people do not realize that Mike, during that time, he was in the detox. He was cleaning out his system. But now that the Olympia prep, that is in full swing, the size that this guy carries, the kind of density that Mike has, that man really looks untouchable. Have a look at that side leg and mention just one guy who has that same level of density and thickness in Classic Physique. So there was a reason why a guy like Terence Ruffin said that he doesn't see either Ramon or Urs Klashinsky beating Mike. The way he is looking right now, the front double biceps, that is so enormous, with absolutely nothing missing. So Mike maybe has the most impressive X-frame in Classic Physique division right now. And hopefully the fans are gonna start looking at him as a potential Classic Physique Olympia champion, rather than a 212 or open competitor. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.